Hey everyone, it's Jessica Michaels here with another layout for the Shimmerz Paints design team. And today I just need a quick and easy layout. December is just kind of crazy around here and just full of all of the things. So I'm just going to show you an easy layout today that's not super crazy or over embellished like my normal layouts are. So I've taken a patterned piece of paper by Bella Boulevard and I've added some white gesso. Once that was dry, I went ahead and added some texture paste in an opaque white matte color, so it's really going to be see-through. It's really just going to act as some texture on my mixed media background here. In the end, you can only really see it up close, but I know that it's there. It's a little stencil here that has letters and numbers on it because this is going to be a school layout of my son. So I just wanted to add a little bit of interest with that stencil, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some mixed media paints here. I've got a few different colors here. This one here is a Shimmerz product called Wagon. I'm going to start with that. I typically don't use red on my mixed media, but since this is for a school layout, it really goes with the photo and colors in the photo. So I'm going to go ahead and use that color to start. And I'm just working in sections with these other colors. I've got a Shimmerz Pull Me Close, and I've got an Inklings Meet Me at Sunset, which is going to be the yellow one that I add. And then I've also got a couple sprays here that I'm going to be working with. This one here at the bottom, I think this one is Green Goddess in an Inklings that I'm using right now. And then I'm going to use a spray at the top that is a Vibes right here, and it's called Snow Wayman. And don't worry, I will link all of these colors down below in the description, so you don't have to remember all of these product names if you want to grab any of these colors from the shop. And if you do place an order in the shop, it's shimmerzpaints.com, and you can use my name Jessica in the notes and you'll get a free gift along with your order. You can really see the paints coming to life at this point, and you can really see how that texture paste is kind of pulling out the colors in these and making them a little bit more bold. You can see where the letters and the numbers from that stencil are, and that's something that I love using that texture paste for, is just to really make the mixed media pop. Now when it dries, it does tone down a little bit. I did add some various colored splatters just by unscrewing the nozzle in that one. It was called Gold Digger in a Color Splash product. The Color Splash products and the Vibes come in the bottles, and they do tend to be a little bit more bold with the color than the Shimmerz products, which are a little bit more sparkly and shimmery. So that Inklings one, especially that yellow Meet Me at Sunset that's on the right, when it dries, it's going to be a lot lighter than what you see here. You can already tell that it's kind of fading away. Sometimes you have to do a couple different layers to them to get them to show up how you want them to look. And then I'm just using some white gesso here, the same gesso that I used in the background. I'm just watering a little bit of that down and flicking it on with my paintbrush to create some white splatters to create kind of a marbled effect and break up those colors. I have a acrylic piece here that I'm using today because I'm actually using this layout and pairing this up with an acrylic stash busting series that I do with a few of my scrappy friends. So I will link that playlist down below if you want to catch their videos as well. And I am just participating in that series that happens every 18th and 28th of the month, and it's just to use some of our acrylic stash and get that onto our pages and projects and use some of it up because we have so much of it. So I'm just backing the little heart piece in here. This is an acrylic title piece by Not Just for Boys Kit Club, and I've just grabbed that and backed the little heart with a Bella Boulevard paper that's just a black with white polka dots. I'm really sticking to this Bella Boulevard collection to embellish and use all the pieces of this School is Cool collection by Bella. And then I'm just going to embellish a little bit. I'm not going to add a ton of things to this because, again, it's December. December is crazy for us around here. I just really needed this to be a quick and easy layout to show you guys something fun, something colorful, but yet easy. So I hope that makes sense. And I hope that you guys have learned just that easy mixed media technique that you can add to your layouts. And I like to use this technique when I am trying to tone down pattern paper, like if it's a really bold pattern or I just want to tone it down a little bit. I use that white gesso technique for that, like I did here, just to blur out some of that background, and then I can add some color back in where I'd like. I'm just going to add this little scallop sticker around my photo to add a little pop of red over here because that's going to line up with my red mixed media. And then I'm going to align my acrylic piece on the right side of my photo. I do like to reinforce and use some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to glue everything down because when you have mixed media background like this, it is a little bit harder for adhesive to stick to it. So I like to just reinforce with some extra Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. Baby girl is in the room playing, as you can hear her, I'm sure, but she's usually around here somewhere. And today she's being a little wild and crazy, but that's okay. And let's see, what else? I just reinforced that with some Nuvo glue. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my acrylic title piece. I've added some baker's twine to my little binder clip. That binder clip was actually from Bella Boulevard's Documented collection. There's a whole sheet of those binder clips, and I just used one of them that I cut out of that background paper. And it seems to be my kind of my go-to thing lately is adding little clippies and things to the top of my photos. I just love to do that. Adds a little pop of color. I did have to hold this down for a little bit and apply some pressure to get this to hold because remember, I do have that extra layer there with all of that texture paste creating dimension. So I did have to make sure I held that down to my page a little bit longer than usual. And then these little pencils and things, I'm just going to tuck these in the top up here just to add a little pop of color and just another little embellishment around my photo. I've added the heart, as you can see at the top, and then I'm going to add this little kindergarten flair from Scrappin Happy Studios, and I'm just going to lightly embellish. So nothing crazy going on today. I'm just going to add a few more little bits and pieces here from this Bella Boulevard collection, and then add some thread at the probably around the top and the side of my photo in some red and blue colors to kind of coordinate with my mixed media. Do a little bit of tone on tone, but still add some texture. And then just add some enamel dots from that Bella Boulevard collection. So here's the thread coming in now. I've just chosen some red and blue so I could do that tone on tone and keep the colors the same and just kind of make that mixed media just add and enhance my photo. So I don't want to take away from my photo, of course, but I just want to add and enhance it just by adding a little pop of color around my photo. And then I've got a couple more embellishments here that I'm adding, another little flower, just keeping with that kind of tone on tone look. And then I'm popping up a few of these embellishments with some 3D foam squares. And then this one, I wanted to add some thread up here. So I'm just going to tuck this in and then just pop a little bit of that Nuvo glue down in behind my binder clip. And then there's my little tone on tone flower up there that I'm gonna add. All of these embellishments are from that School is Cool Bella collection. I must not have held down my little pencils long enough because they are falling off, so I had to apply just a little bit more pressure and a little bit more glue to add those down to my page. And then I'm just going to glue down these tails so they're not all crazy around my layout and they don't move whenever I place it into my page protector. And then I'm just going to finish this off with a few more little bits and pieces here and there and just add a couple more little finishing touches. So here is the finished layout. I hope you guys enjoyed this process today, and I hope that you've learned how to create an easy mixed media layout to enhance your photo. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button, and have a great day. Bye-bye.